Everyone, I'm Miss Nora. Welcome to Fiber and Fashion Camp. This is your first video for this week's camp. So today we're going to start by learning how to make a type of textile called a batik. So this is my finished product. It's a really fun project that we're going to work on today, and this project is going to take us 2 days to do. So this is batik part 1. Tomorrow we're going to finish it. All right. So this morning, or before you watch this video, you should have watched a little bit of a PowerPoint with me, kind of talking about the history of batiks and where in the world they're made. I told you guys that batiks are traditionally made with melted wax, but because we are doing them for summer camp, we're actually going to use glue. So inside your summer camp kit, you should have a glue that looks like this. This is just a pretty simple Elmer's glue. If you wanted to do this after we use up our glue, you could use it with the regular white glue also. It doesn't need to be this cool blue gel one. So the only thing we need from our kits to start this really awesome project is our white piece of fabric. Now it's the big piece. It's not the pieces that are tied together. If you're in the afternoon camp, you have 2 smaller pieces of white fabric that are tied together with a black string. It's not that. We're using this big piece of white fabric and our glue. I also put some newspaper down on the table just because I'm trying to keep things tidy. So I'm going to turn the camera down so you can kind of see what I'm doing, but first I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about my finished product here. So this is one that I made earlier in the week. It took me, like I said, it took me 2 days to make it, not because I was working on it the whole time for 2 whole days, but because there are steps that need to dry overnight. So we want to make sure that we give them time to dry so that you have the most beautiful batik panel. And as you can see, I painted some flowers on mine, but we're going to talk about all of the different things that you can draw on yours. It does not need to look anything like mine if you don't want it to. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to tilt my screen down so that you can see what I'm doing. All righty. So as you can see, I have some newspaper. I put my fabric down on the paper here, and I have my glue. Now, I always like, even if your glue is a brand new bottle of glue, I like to check that it can breathe. So I like to open it up, and I don't know if you can see, there's a little bit of glue coming out of the top there. That is a good sign. That means your bottle of glue is ready to roll. All right. So there are a few things that we can do here. We can take a pencil and draw out a design, kind of plan it out. You know, maybe I want to have a cat, or maybe I want to have like a sun here and maybe some grass. I want to do like a landscape, or maybe I just want to do a pattern. So I could fill the whole thing with diamonds and polka dots, whatever. Maybe you're the type of person that likes to plan it out, but guess what? I'm not that kind of person. I like to do it on the cuff, you know, off the cuff, I guess is how you say it. I like to just go for it. So that's what we're going to do today. If you want to take a pencil and take some time to sketch out your idea, you can pause the video here so you can map out your idea. No judgment, all right? If you want to just keep going, we're going to grab our glue. We're just going to go to town. So since I did flowers on my other batik, I think I'm going to do more of a design on this one. So I think I'm going to do a type of design called paisleys. It's kind of like, they're like kind of like these little squiggly shapes. They're pretty cool. They kind of look, you can see them on bandanas and stuff. So an important thing when you're working on your batik on this step, first is to definitely have paper underneath. And second is to make sure that you're not actually dragging the tip of your glue bottle along the fabric, because that is going to kind of make it, it'll make it a really thin line, and we kind of want a thick line of glue. So if you can see, what I'm doing is I'm keeping my glue bottle just the tiniest little bit above the fabric here so that it makes a nice thick line. And once I have a few of these on here, this is going to be kind of a crazy pattern. I'm just going to kind of fill up some space with my glue. I'm realizing these kind of look like fish. I guess I could kind of turn them into fish. Should I do that? Maybe I'll do that. That's kind of fun. All right, so let's see. How can I turn these into little fishies? This is what I mean, guys. There's like so many things you can do with this project. So I'll give them some little fins, maybe a little tail, some dots for eyes. So, you know, this is the fun thing about this project is maybe you're like, I'm gonna make this really insane design, and then you start it and you're like, wow, this actually doesn't look like really what I want it to look like. So I'm gonna turn it into something else, and you're the artist. That's totally your decision, and that is a pretty cool place to be. So, you know, go for it. I'm pretty into this. So, all that to say, you should be at this point putting some final touches on it. You know, I could honestly keep doing this forever, but we have other steps to get to, so I don't want to keep this video too long. But basically, you're going to keep going with your design until you feel like it's at a place that you're like, okay, cool, this is definitely done. You know, maybe you're doing like a whole garden scene and you already have like the flowers, you have some butterflies. But do you see how I'm like literally, I'm like drawing with this glue? And I'm not worried too much about it being perfect because it's not going to be perfect. Like, so no matter what you try and do, it's not going to be perfect. Since these are fish and they didn't originally start out being fish, I'm just going to put some bubbles in here to make it like super underwater themed. Boop, boop, boop. Bubble, bubble. All right. So we have some bubbles. We have some fish. Fill up your fabric, right? Fill it with glue and designs and really get creative with what you're thinking here. And a cool thing that I don't know if you noticed in my flower one is actually I put some polka dots on here up in the corners. And that was just little tiny dots of glue, kind of like what I did for the eyes, but that is very, very traditional for batik. So I'm gonna put some polka dots in here also. And that is just a fun way to fill up some space to make things pretty interesting. You know, just put some polka dots around. I would love it if all of you guys tried to put some polka dots on your batiks. Sometimes they don't look as much like dots. Sometimes they're like little lines, and that's okay too. All right. So I'm done with this one, I think, for right now. And when you're done, you want to make sure you close your glue nice and tight so that your white little tip comes out and your glue doesn't dry up. And you just have to walk away. That's it. That is sorry. That is all that we're doing today. You do want to make sure that you are propping up your dry or your wet, gluey batik fabric on a flat surface so that it's not dripping. Like mine was just dripping off the edge of the table a little bit, so I just want to leave it. But I'll actually show you guys what it looks like. I just have to pick up this computer. So, can you see it? You can see a piece of it anyway. This is one of my little fish. Maybe I'll name all of them. So, when you are finished with your glue, you just walk away. You wish it well, you say, mwah, mwah, dry up, nice and dry, and we're gonna leave it overnight until it's completely dry. Even if you check on it later and it's totally dry, we're not gonna do anything with it until tomorrow. So don't keep touching it, just put it somewhere and walk away. All right? Okay, thank you guys for watching video number 1. This is Batik video number 1 again. We're gonna do Batik video number 2 tomorrow. The next video that you're gonna watch for Fiber Camp is how to make a rubber stamp. Okay? See you soon.